Hey, hello there. Hola, ¿cómo estás? To my friends and family from all over the world. It's your man, Globe Master Yalfusu, back at you one more time. Part 3. Part on de trois. Or uno, dos, tres. Right? Of the racism topic. Okay? Now, as you all know, I started part 1 with Asians racist to foreigners that come to their countries. In part 2, I did black people racist towards foreigners that comes to their countries. And now, I saved the best for last. White people racist towards foreigners that comes to their countries. Let's get started. All right? Now, if you're new to this channel, welcome aboard. My name is Yalfusu. Get to know me, join my family, subscribe. Let's keep pushing this thing up, right? Now, first of all, I have made it very clear that every human being, regardless what race or phenotype you are, is racist. I've made that very clear. So if you need to go watch part 1 and 2 to make you understand this part 3, you need to do that. All right? Okay, let me get to my notes here. So now, today, since I'm talking about white people racist towards foreigners in their country, I think the first thing I should say is, as you can clearly see, I'm not a white man. I'm as black can be, right? And I have lived most of my life in a white man's country, United States of America. Now, some people actually don't know that in this country, USA, black people make about 14, I didn't say 40, I said 14, 1/4 percentage of the population. Okay? Not even 15%, 14% of the population of America are black people. Now, one thing you got to know is that if you take people with foreign backgrounds, such as myself, people with that either came from foreign countries or were born here, like myself, to foreigners, because my parents are from Africa. I was born here. If you take us from the population of the all American black, then the population for black people will be probably like 6 or 7%. Seriously. So that's something you need to keep in mind. So America, like it or not, is a white man's country. Okay, now let's get to the point here. White people racist? The answer is heck yeah. Heck to the mother effing yes to foreigners that come to their countries. Not just here in America, but mostly in Europe. Okay? You think people are racist here? Try Europe. Okay? They are really racist over there. Okay, now, who are white people? Who are the Caucasian race? Just like us Negro race, there are there are different varieties of white people. If you're not a white person, you may see them as, oh, all white people are the same. Or just like, white people will look at black people and say, all black people are the same, but even though we're not. Just like we may look at Asians and say, they're all Chinese, when they're not. White people, there are a lot of differences between white people, okay? I'm going to give you some examples. Like, let's say Europe. Let's take Europe for instance, right? In the north, the northern part of Europe, you have the Scandinavians, which is the Swedish, the Norwegians, the Danes, including Germans, the Finns, Icelanders, you know, people with Viking blood, or how should I say it, with Viking heritage or whatever, right? Okay. Now you go to the English Isles, you have the what you call the Anglo-Saxons. These are the Welsh, the Scottish, the English, the Irish. A lot of people can't tell the difference, but they are called Anglo-Saxons. All right. Okay. Now, if you go far east of Europe, you're looking at the Slavics. These include majority the Russians, the Polish, Slovenians, Slovakias. What I call the Khrushchevs. Anybody that speak like a Russian, Ukrainians, Lithuanians, most of the Baltic states, they are all Slavic people, right? And then you go to the majority, who are the Latins. Now the Latins start from like the Portuguese, the Spaniards, the Italians, the Greeks, French. What else? I know there's a few more that speak like Latin. Okay, these are the Latins. So basically, as you can see, white people may look the same if you're not a white person, but they are not all the same. Just like us black people. Okay? Take this into mind. Not all skin folks are kin folks. Alright? Okay. Now, are white people racist? Well, I mean, if history tells us they are. I mean, look. Of the three races that God in his infinite wisdom created, the Mongoloid, the Negroid, and the Caucasoid, which one of these three races have committed most atrocities as far as we can remember back in history? Now, I'm not saying this to be racist, but I've never heard of an Asiatic man hanging a Negroid man on a tree because of the color of his skin. I've never heard that. I've never heard of an Asiatic man burning a white man because of the color of his skin. I've never heard that. Okay? I've never heard of a Negroid man torturing or basically hanging another man because of the color of their skin. Now, I'm not saying any race is perfect, but when it comes to major atrocities, I think, no, forget about thinking. I know for fact that the Caucasoid race are on a different level. Okay? It's the same with racism. The white man's level of racism is up here before the Asiatic and the Negroid. They are much more racist than any other people in the world. Okay, now if you're not a white person and you are living in a white man's country, it's in your face every day. It's in your face, and you know it. Okay. Okay. Now, let me give you some examples, right? Throughout history, like China, the Asians, the Chinese, and East Africans were trading for hundreds and hundreds of years before the Europeans even thought about finding a way to Asia and Africa. These two races were trading. They never had no wars, nothing. Okay? In the northern part of Africa, the Persians, Arabs invaded North Africa. And you know what? Believe it or not, Arabs, the pure Arabs, in the three phenotypes of human beings, they fit exactly into the Caucasoid race. Like it or not, Arabs are white people. Okay? What did they do to North Africa? Okay? Now, it's only the white race that forces their religion and their way of life onto others, but will never accept other people's religions and way of life. Just think about it. Think about it. When was the last time you saw a white man with an African name or a Chinese name? You don't see that. But go anywhere in the world, okay? Right here in America, you have black people who has been forced into either Christianity or Islam, and their names is what? Frederick, whatever. Marcus, whatever. Okay? Denzel Washington. You don't know your real name, right? Have you ever heard of a white man named Kunta Kinte before? No. Have you ever heard of a white man named Hong Dong Zheng before? No. But you will see a Chinese man with an English name. For example, the country that I love the most in Asia, Philippines. I could say about 95% of all Filipinos have first, middle, and last name Spanish names. Why? Because for over 333 years, Philippines was under Spanish occupation. And do you know what the Spanish did to them? They made sure if you're a native Filipino, if you want to get an education, if you want to go to school, if you want to get a job, even just to, if you want to have any kind of, if you want to join if you want to go to church, if you want to do anything, period, you have to have what? First, second, and third Spanish names. They forced it onto them. Okay? Most Filipinos don't have their native names anymore. A Filipino is Morales, Garcia, Lizardo, Duterte, Marcos, whatever. Most Filipinos have lost their names, their natural names. Okay? And for example, go to China, right? The English try to force their way of life onto the Chinese. And when the Chinese will not accept it, what do? They try to turn them into junkies. Ever heard of the Opium War? They went to war with the Chinese to turn them into junkies, to sell drugs to them. If that's not racism, tell me what is. Okay? Hell. Look, my name is Yao Fosu, but here in America, my parents gave me an English name. They gave me Michael. Why? Because to survive in this country, I'm pretty sure my parents thought about this. They said, you know what? Let's give him an angelic name. What's the name of an angel? Oh, Michael. And they gave it to me. It's on my birth certificate. I cannot change it. Right? Listen, racism is real. And it's here. And it will be here probably for thousands of generations. It is. What make people racist? Now I already listed that in both part one and part two, which was fear, right? Ignorance and superiority complex. These are the three main reasons why people are racist. Now, racism, think about it. If you live in any white man's country, right? For example, right here in America, any city that you go to, right? There's apartheid here in America. People just don't see it. Most black people live in what? Black neighborhood. Any major city in America, you have what? The Chinatown, whether it's LA, San Francisco, New York, wherever. You have a section that's designated for what? The Asians. Okay? Little India here, little Pakistani here. Listen, it's real. It's real. The same in Europe too. Anywhere that you live in a white man's country, if you are not white, most likely they put you in the area where all you guys belong together and stay in one spot. So you could be monitored. Right? Now, think about it. Like growing up here in New York, I went to an all black school. All black school. Okay? Not until I got to college before I started mixing myself with other races. But from like, especially junior high and high school, it's all black school. Hospitals. They put a hospital in a black neighborhood just for the black people. Work, church, racism is real. Okay? Now, I've said it many times. All people are racist, but for sure, and without a doubt, the white man is on another level. Why is that? Because in his country, he got the power. Okay? Now, power is the source of racism. Example, if you're a black man or an Asian man, no matter what level of education you have, not unless you're working for yourself, you're gonna be under some white man, no matter what company you're working for. Okay? It's very rare that you see the black guy being the top notch, or the Asian man being the top notch dude of a company. In order for you, a black man or an Asian, to be top notch, you gotta be twice as smart than a white guy before they'll give you that spot. All right? Listen, I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm gonna end it here. I've done part one for the Asiatics. I did part two for the blacks, and this part three for the whites. In conclusion, all human beings are racist. I'm going to repeat myself. All human beings are racist. No matter what color, no matter what phenotype you are, every human being is racist. All right? Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I'm tired. It's time to get some sleep. Good night.